pertaining to your journey through graduate school, even starting with grad admissions. And what I do is I work with graduate students at the Graduate Student Success Center. I coordinate that. I hire ISAs, which are instructional student assistants that are grad students to work as writing and statistics consultants there. We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. And the Graduate Student Success Center, I don't know if you know about this, but it's a place on the second floor of the library that's just for graduate students. You have to swipe your card to gain access, and it's a nice, quiet place in the library just for grad students. We have private study rooms. We have writing and statistics consultations. We have people there who can answer questions for you or lead you to the right people over at the Division of Graduate Studies for help with stuff pertaining to your pursuit of a degree. And we love it. We help students. We love helping students. We put students first. It's our priority. And then another portion of my job is helping graduate students navigate the funding opportunities that are available to them. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my slides here. And we're just going to go through these. And then I do want to say, for those of you that have questions as I'm going through the slides, feel free to just ask. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see you when I'm doing the slides, when I'm going through the slides. So just unmute yourself and ask a question. I'm more than happy to answer those questions as we're going through these slides, okay? So let me just turn my share on here. Okay. Can you all see these slides? This is true. I definitely cannot see any of you. So just say yes or no if you can or cannot see the slides.
Yes.
Okay, great. Hopefully it fills the whole screen and you're not seeing the slide with the other, the pilot screen that I see.
No, it's the slide screen and it's the whole screen, and then you're on top in your little Hollywood square.
Okay, great. I'm glad. All right, that is definitely not what I see. So, but that's good. I'm just going to go through these slides and then I'm happy to answer any questions for you all as we are going through here. So, as I mentioned, I represent the Graduate Student Success Center, which is a branch of the Division of Graduate Studies. And we are going to be talking about graduate student funding opportunities. And if you are entering information into the chat, I currently cannot see it. So feel free, if you have a question, you want to put it in the chat, I'll get to that afterward. But if you have a question you feel like just asking on the spot, feel free to just unmute yourself. So graduate student funding opportunities at Fresno State are unfortunately less abundant than they are for undergraduates, but there are funding opportunities available. In fact, we offer multiple resources that may help you finance part of your graduate education. And we're going to be talking about the 4 most important funding resources to keep in mind as you begin this new journey for yourselves. So we'll just start right at the foundation. All graduate students should certainly apply for student aid by visiting the FAFSA website at studentaid.gov and start a new application if you haven't done so already. If you are an AB 540 student, you can go to csac.california.gov and click on the DREAM Act. And when you apply for financial aid via FAFSA or the DREAM Act, you may be eligible for the state university grant, the SUG grant. Some of this is similar to applying to undergraduate school, and I know that we all have different experiences in this regard, but these are the very first steps that you want to take. And then we're going to be talking about the funding opportunities that are provided to you directly through or through us through the CSU Chancellor's Office that are available for graduate students. And these opportunities in particular, so back to this. If you have questions about this, you want to contact the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships here on campus. Once you are a graduate student and you are enrolled in your courses, then the information that comes from me will start arriving in your email inbox. So what I do, just to get started here and sort of letting you know a little bit more, is I'll send emails out through there'll be announcements through Bulldog Connect that go to all graduate students that announce certain funding opportunities that I facilitate through the Division of Graduate Studies. So the next 3 slides, we're going to be talking about some of those. And let me know if I'm going too fast. So these pop up throughout the academic year. The Graduate Equity Fellowship actually just closed for the academic year application period, but it's actually for those who are awarded, they'll actually receive that in the following academic year, so 25-26, starting in the fall semester. And the Graduate Equity Fellowship helps support students from historically underrepresented backgrounds who are beginning their graduate degrees. This is a tricky one because the language here is beginning their graduate degrees. You actually apply to this during your first academic year. So if you are in a 2-year graduate program, that would mean that you absolutely should do this because that would kick in your second fall semester and your second spring semester during your second year. And this would award you $1,000 during the fall semester and $1,000 during the spring semester, equaling $2,000 for that second academic year that you're experiencing as a graduate student. The Graduate Equity Fellowship, unfortunately, does not pertain to international students. It's the only opportunity listed here that are facilitated by the Division of Graduate Studies that was set up for domestic students only. But it's important to note that it does focus on historically underrepresented backgrounds, and it's definitely there to help support students while they're conducting their research. Now, a lot of these opportunities are based on, yes, you as a graduate student, you are focused and you know what your research is that you want to be working on. Even if you haven't started it yet, you want to be thinking about it right from day one. And again, that's something that the Graduate Student Success Center that I coordinate on campus can help you with. So you should brainstorm with us once you start as a grad student. Start brainstorming with us from day one. And I can answer more questions about that later if you want. The Robert and Norma Craig Fellowship is designed to increase students' research abilities by engaging them with mentored activities with faculty. And that's so all of these kind of are dependent on mentored activities, so research with faculty. Either they're supervising you while you're conducting your research, or you are working with them to help them with their research. But mostly we should be focusing mainly on, I mean, when I say we, the students should be focusing mainly on their own research and receiving mentorship from a faculty mentor that helps support that journey through research. So pretty much all of them, except for the Meek Scholarship, pertain to the act of conducting research. Now, the money that comes to you through the Graduate Equity Fellowship and or the Robert and Norma Craig Fellowship is intended for your use to help support your journey as a student. It's not intended that you collect receipts and spend money on buying research materials and things like that. You certainly can, but there's no need to show proof of that. It's there to support you as a student. And the Robert and Norma Craig Fellowship, it usually amounts up to $2,000 per student. It's up to, so the range of award amount can vary. The Wanda Meek Scholarship usually doesn't award more than $1,000. Usually, the award amount is around the $600 to $800 range, and usually it only awards 2 students per semester. And this is for students that have disabilities. And if you apply and you have a disability that can be reinforced or substantiated with a note from your physician, then you are eligible for the Meek Scholarship as well. That's another one that I announced too. So just to give you some perspective here, the Equity Fellowship, the Robert and Norma Craig Fellowship, and the Wanda Meek Scholarships, they all just ended. Varying end dates, but they just ended. Usually the application periods for those begin either at the end of the fall semester or at the very beginning of the spring semester, depending on when they launch. So again, you're going to start your fall semester as a grad student. You might be wondering, when am I going to get an email from Ronald Zarigian or from the Division of Graduate Studies regarding funding opportunities? Well, these are all toward the end of the fall semester or the beginning of the spring semester, except for the Graduate Student Research and Creative Activities Support Award. This is an opportunity that is offered every semester. You can actually receive it twice. And it is an award up to $3,000. And it's similar in that it is intended to support students who are conducting research. You can apply for this in the fall semester. That application period usually launches late October, or actually, it depends. It could be early October or late October. And then in the spring semester, it usually launches in February. And you can apply for it every time it pops up after you have advanced to candidacy. There's always a stipulation, right, with these things. This is primarily, again, for students who are in their second or third year of graduate school. And so you want to be thinking about this once you've advanced to candidacy, which is a step you need to take, usually a step that happens right around the fall semester of your second year. And that's something that becomes available to you there as well. You can actually be awarded it's called the GRACAS. It's shortened to GRACAS. You can be awarded the Graduate Student Research and Creative Activities Support Award at the end of your final semester. And it's at that point, it's kind of like a pat on the back award for you having graduated with your master's or doctoral degree from Fresno State. Any questions so far before I go to the next slide? All right.
Where is your
Oh,
office located? Sorry.
oh, that's okay. Um, well, I'm in 2 different locations, me personally. I'm usually in the Thomas building during the first half of the day, and the second half of the day, I'm usually over at the Graduate Student Success Center in the library. But right now, I'm in my office in the Thomas building, and the Thomas building is located right next to the Kennel bookstore. It has sort of mission style tile roof.
Oh,
It's an
yes.
older
Okay.
building. Okay.
That's where we go to get one-on-one counseling after this Zoom, correct? If
Oh,
we needed.
well, you certainly can. You
No,
can
I'm
come by.
saying
Oh,
for more information about what you're talking about today, if we wanted to go over these things that you're discussing in more depth, is that where we go to the Thomas building?
yeah, or you can email me. I'm going to put my
Okay.
email in the
Oh,
chat at the
wonderful.
end of this, and also my email is included here. It's actually on the next slide after we look at
Oh,
this one.
wonderful.
But there's several things that you can do as a graduate student, and I highly recommend that you engage with these activities regularly once you're enrolled. I mean, you can be doing this now as an undergraduate student. Ask all the questions. Send all the emails. If you see an email from me, send an email response to me, or open up a new email, send that to me. If you know where we're located, stop in and ask questions. There are degree specialists here. There's grad admissions specialists here. There are people like me who can help discuss like applying to funding opportunities and things like that. And I'm, here. And also, the Graduate Student Success Center is right over there at the library. So definitely make a habit of reaching out. I talk to my daughters about this all the time, and they're new to college and they're always nervous about asking questions. And you gotta ask. You gotta be that person who asks. So I'm glad that you're already asking questions. So the next few items I'm going to talk about, these two here that we're looking at, the Chancellor's Doctoral Incentive Program and the California Pre-Doc Program, are announced by me, but the decisions are made by the Chancellor's office as far as who is awarded. But these are two very interesting opportunities for students who are CSU campus students. Number one, the Chancellor's Doctoral Incentive Program is something that you can apply to while you either toward the end of your graduate degree, or if you've already started a doctoral program somewhere. You don't even have to be a Fresno State student to apply to this. But the intent is for you to be awarded is if you're going to pursue a doctoral degree after your master's degree, that you would ideally come back to the CSU system and teach as faculty. Now, this is a little tricky. It's a loan, it's a forgivable loan. And embedded in this opportunity are a multitude of little grants and lots of great opportunities available to you. But the forgivable loan is something that will kick in once you start your doctoral program. Again, this could be at any campus, even outside of the CSU system. But if you come back to the CSU system and you receive, if you were awarded a full-time tenure track faculty position in the CSU system, there is a substantial forgivable percentage taken away from that loan. So it's a pretty neat deal if you're having trouble finding funding for your future goals of getting a doctoral degree. And then, but previous to applying to the Chancellor's Doctoral Incentive Program, while you're a graduate student here, definitely apply for the California Pre-Doc program. This is if you're interested in going on and getting a doctoral degree. This, if you're awarded this $5,000, it's to help fund your trips to campuses, your application fees, your deciding on where you're going to earn your doctoral degree. So it's a pretty cool opportunity for CSU students. But also, the chancellor's office, they put a high emphasis on wanting students to come back to the CSU system and teach here. So there's that. If that's something you want to do, if you want to be a college professor, you want to teach in the CSU system, then both of these are really great opportunities. Again, I announce these through Bulldog Connect. All grad students get these announcements. These are usually in the beginning of the fall semester, so you'll receive this. This is for people who have their sights set on their future beyond the master's degree program. Now, going back to while you are a master's degree student, travel grants are always available. These are if these are grants available through the Division of Graduate Studies. You apply through our website, and our dean of the Division of Graduate Studies, makes a decision on who is awarded. And travel grants are varying amounts. If you're traveling somewhere within the state, it's a slightly lower amount, but there's an amount available even if you're traveling internationally. But the key component here is that you must have been accepted to present research at a conference. So conference or an academic meeting of sorts, but you're needing to be a presenter, not just attending. So that is something to talk about with your faculty once you start your master's degree program. All right, so now we're not done yet. This is just, this is a stage in the game where I want you to know that if you have any questions about any of the stuff that the Division of Graduate Studies helps you with in regard to funding opportunities. You can visit the Division of Graduate Studies website, and quite literally, you go to fresnostate.edu, go to a little search engine and type in graduate studies, and our website pops right up. But also email me if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to walk you through the process of finding information. Um, but there's more. Additional things that you should be aware of is the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships houses a lot of scholarship opportunities that I didn't even mention today that apply to both undergrads and grads. These are sometimes opportunities that I don't announce because it's my job to just announce things that apply solely to graduate students. But you can definitely build a nice rapport with the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships by asking questions and exploring their website for all of the scholarship opportunities. There's more too. There are external funding opportunities from both private and public entities. So there's a website on the Fresno State Library's webpage that showcases certain grants, scholarships, and funding sources that are available to all students. The types of students they're looking for vary. You know, you could match their criteria or may not match their criteria, but these are entities separate from the CSU system, separate from Fresno State, that like the idea of funding grad students or even undergraduate students. This web page is monitored loosely, so some of the sources are available. You know, I've clicked on a couple of things and noticed that they weren't available. I let the library know, but they try to keep up on that. And it's a really great place to find funding opportunities that are available to you. Let's say you decide you want to be a viticultural and enology student working on a master's degree here at Fresno State. Maybe there is a company that produces wine that is interested in helping pay for the education of someone who may potentially work for them in the future. Opportunities like that. Um, but you should certainly conduct your own research because looking for this stuff online, you don't find what you're looking for at the Fresno State Library. That doesn't mean stop there. You come to me, you ask me a question, and I don't have an answer for you immediately. I'm going to try and find an answer for you. And that's sort of the journey you want to be taking on your own, too. If you hit a wall, find a way around, through, under, or over that wall. There's always a way. So definitely spend time conducting your own research to find scholarships and opportunities that are available to you. In the Central Valley, I know that the Educational Employees Credit Union always offers scholarship opportunities for both undergrads and grads. That's something, you know, just off the top of my head, that's something. Um, so moving on. We're committed to helping you, you know, uh, understand and find ways to meet the financial demands of being a graduate student. It's not it's sometimes it's sometimes an intense risk to become a graduate student because maybe you already have a full-time job. Maybe you have a family and you're taking a little break from certain responsibilities in order to get a master's or doctoral degree here at Fresno State. And that can be very stressful, but I'm here to help alleviate that stress and help you find answers. And the Division of Graduate Studies is here for you as well. Um, Now, I want to just take a side before I get to like how you can find me and stuff, the other ways we can help you. I do want to also mention that uh, once you've been accepted to your graduate program, start talking to the grad coordinator of that program. Figure out who that is. Go look through the website, look at the faculty who work for that graduate program, figure out who your grad coordinator is, and begin conversations with them. Your individual grad program may have funding opportunities available solely to students within your program. Those I do not advertise. You don't wait for me for those funding opportunities. Ask your grad coordinators. And there is always a faculty member that is designated the graduate coordinator of each graduate program. So again, comes back to this: ask all the questions, be that person who sends emails, be that person who knocks on office doors and visits office hours. It is so important that you do that. And I'm not saying that as a parent, I'm saying that as a former graduate student myself. Definitely be that person. You're not going to annoy them. They are busy and sometimes they need a little nudge to get attention, to give you the attention that you need. We're all here: faculty, staff, administration. We're all here and we working for you, the students. So keep that in mind. All right. The next slide here, this is essentially the information you're going to need to get in touch with me, and the ways that I can help. If you need help writing qualifications or motivation statements or filling out applications for things, those those are still like assignments that grad students have to do. You have to be filling these applications out in order to be in the pool to potentially receive some awards. All the awards that I announced today are competitive. So if you need help with writing those statements or figuring out what that prompt means in that application, reach out to me or the Graduate Student Success Center, and the writing studio within the Graduate Student Success Center could help you. We have several ISAs that work for us that can help you with this stuff. And you should certainly reach out to us on day one of starting your graduate degree program. The Graduate Student Success Center isn't just additional work. Like, a lot of people think of it as a tutorial center, which it kind of is, but that tutorial centers are not intended to be looked at as extra things you have to do because you're not doing so well. Our service at the Graduate Student Success Center is actually intended to help you stay on top of your work, feel confident in the work that the research and the writing and the data that you're gathering, the thesis statements, the literature reviews, all the things that are intimidating to us as students are handleable. And we're there to help you gain a foothold, feel confident about your work, and also you can be an ISA at the Graduate Student Success Center. So there are jobs on campus, right? Another kind of funding opportunity for grad students and undergrads is working on campus. And if you're interested in academics, if you're a research minded person, if you're inquisitive, if you love talking to people about what they are studying and you like to write, or maybe you love statistics, and when I say like, it's like, how much do we have to like something to be good at it? Sometimes we just understand it. We may not like to write, but we understand what good writing needs. Or we enjoy statistics when others don't, right? So you can become an ISA or a writing or a statistics consultant at the Graduate Student Success Center. We don't hire a lot of students, so it's pretty competitive too, but the application is available on the myfresnostate.edu. I mean, yeah, the My Fresno State portal for where you can go look for jobs. CSU Hire, I think is what it's called. You can go and find other employment options at Fresno State as well. But, to schedule an appointment with the Graduate Student Success Center, you can just email us. That's usually the simplest way, unless you're already familiar with Bulldog Connect. It's a portal that Fresno State uses. Not everybody uses it, so it can be a little bit daunting at first when you go in and look for ways to make appointments with either the Learning Center or the Kremen Writing Center or the Kremen Research Center or the Graduate Student Success Center. But you can just email us directly at gradstudentsuccesscenter@mail.fresnostate.edu. And if you have questions about, funding opportunities, you can call. Usually it goes straight to voicemail because I'm either working with students or I'm going back and forth, but I will get back to you. Or if you want to get in touch, if you want me to respond quicker, and this is very real, in today's day and age, send me an email and I will get back to you within 24 hours, if not just within the a couple of hours after you send the email. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and this is an opportunity for anybody to ask questions if you have questions. How many of you are really or have already applied to graduate school? How about that?
Oh, sorry, I could not get it to let me.
That's
Goodness.
okay. You got it,
Um,
Davian.
is there a graduate program, a master? Would there be one for theater arts in 2025, or still no?
They're still working on that. They're
Okay.
still working on that. Same thing. There is a master's degree program in art, and there's a creative writing program um, that is a master's degree program. But they're still working on the theater program. Good
Okay.
question. Jennifer, you already applied, right? You raised your hand.
Yes, I applied for the master's program for school counseling.
Oh, good. We work with a lot of students in that program. Are you starting in the fall?
Wait, I'm sorry, can you repeat it?
Are you starting in the fall?
Oh, yes, I
Good.
just recently registered for classes. So,
Fantastic. So Jennifer, since you've already registered for classes, that's fantastic. Definitely start exploring the website, the Division of Graduate Studies website if you haven't already. There's a video of me from several years back talking about all this stuff, but there's also a ton of resources available to you. And if any of you ever want like a tour of the Graduate Student Success Center, all you have to do is email me. As an undergraduate, you don't have access, but as a graduate, you do. But I'm happy to take you through there and show you everything we have to offer our graduate student population. So don't be afraid to reach out and for that information and for a tour. I'd be happy to do that for you.
thank you.
And congratulations, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Hopefully this was, informative. Like I said, if after today, I know it's a little nerve-wracking to ask questions in Zoom rooms and stuff like that, but so if you're nervous to ask a question, if you want to ask me later on through email, feel free to do so. If you think of a question later on, again, email me. I will gladly answer that question for you. If you're interested in seeing the Graduate Student Success Center, let me know. I will take you over there and give you a tour.
I do have one more question. All of these grants and scholarships that you're speaking, are they specifically for Fresno State, or if you get into another graduate program, could you use those scholarships for that?
No, the only ones that you can apply to if you're attending at another university are the ones that are facilitated through the chancellor's office. So that would be the chancellor's doctoral incentive program if you're interested in getting a doctoral degree, or the chancellor's
Oh, okay.
pre-doctoral program if you're interested in getting a doctoral degree. The ones that I represent through the Division of Graduate Studies are solely for graduate students at Fresno State. Um, but
Got
if
it.
you're going to a different university, guess what? They have a ton of opportunities at those universities as well. And there are varying levels of opportunities at other universities. So if you're thinking about going to a different university, definitely do some exploring and see what's available to you, because it might be awesome, or it might be less than the type of opportunities that we have. So do look elsewhere. And I do know that I've done my research. I do know that other universities do offer similar things to what Fresno State offers their grad students.
I
Well,
also
thank
had a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
so if you're like applying or you're starting your master's program in the spring, would you say like most grants offer like application in the spring and fall?
so there's one that's both fall and spring, and that's the Graduate Research and Creative Activities Support Award. I would say, for the ones that I facilitate, there's, many of them launch early spring.
Oh,
Um, and just so you know, we're aware of the dilemma of students wanting to apply for funding opportunities before they start. Like Jennifer's in a situation like, can I apply now for a funding opportunity before I even start a program? And so we're working on different, switching up the timelines for some of these. But that's a fingers crossed type of scenario. So at least for the time being, the opportunities start once you're enrolled and you begin your classes. Some in the fall, some in the spring.
thank you.
You're welcome. I forgot your name.
Brenda.
Brenda. Okay. You're welcome, Brenda. Any other questions? When I used to teach undergraduate English courses and I would teach via Zoom, I would call on people's names just to be annoying and get them to snap into it and ask questions. But I won't do that to you today. I promise. Again, like if you folks, if you think of anything you have, any questions you have, and there are no silly questions, believe me, there are no silly questions, not for me or over at the Graduate Student Success Center. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask.
Okay, and if not, they also have your email too. I did record the Zoom and I'll be posting it onto our Trio Canvas page so a student can look back on it.
Oh, good.
Or any like students who missed this opportunity can also go back and like watch it.
Yeah,
But for now, if nobody has questions or any questions in the chat, then I guess that concludes our workshop today.
sounds good. Thank you, Brenda, and thank you, Jennifer, and thank you everybody for being here.
thank you.
I look forward to working with you all as grad students if you become grad students here at Fresno State.
All right. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Enjoy the weather.